Hey, friends and family. Hey, loved ones. Hey, I just wanted to come on here. Well, not really. I didn't really want to, but I've been nudged to. And so it's like, okay, I guess I'll just let go of what I think I need to be or do or say and just show up. And so, yeah, this week has been a wild ride, and I'm just coming in, yeah, pretty, well, not tongue tied, but yeah, not even sure, I guess, unsure of really what wants to be shared and what wants to be said and what wants to be heard. And so we'll just take a moment and let it all go and surrender, yeah, to this great unknown and to life's flow. So where do we go? Yeah, we just begin where we're at. We'll start here, where we are. So, yeah, today is a powerful heart expansion amplifier day. Yeah, love always. And so, exciting conjunction with Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces. It hasn't happened in 166 years. And yeah, so that's really interesting. And I've been feeling like super, super energetic, off the wall. Like, it's been crazy. Actually, I've had like different weird sleep disturbances, and I'm a little under the weather today. Went and got a tattoo on Thursday, and then Friday I woke up kind of feeling yucky and like almost like energetically hungover. Yeah, not almost, but yeah, pretty much energetically hungover, and just kind of let myself rest and sleep. And so I did take like a long, long nap on Friday, and I slept like 12 hours from Friday night to Saturday. And then Saturday night and Sunday night, I woke up at 3 a.m. both nights and could not go back to sleep at all. Even, yeah, this cough, this little cough and head cold that I have that came on after getting my tattoo. It's, yeah, sometimes that happens, not every time, but it just tells me and shows me like where I get to attend to my well-being, and kind of helping me listen to my body and to my body's needs and for my own well-being. And so it's actually like I'm feeling, not the best, but actually like um, just accepting, like, oh, okay, well, just get to work with this and get to play with this and not judging it. And actually, like, it's the best I've ever felt, like, when I've been sick, because I haven't judged it and I haven't judged myself. And so this is so funny that I had so much energy to play with and to work with the last couple days, and I have been wanting to create different things. And so it's just like, yay, I get to, and so I've been in my kitchen a lot the last couple days. Yeah, just doing some things and reordering and organizing and spring cleaning, and yeah, doing some creative projects, and yeah, it's feeling pretty good. And just holy cow, the energy, though, is just like huge energy surges, and so much energy to play with and work with. So just feeling centered and feeling grounded, but also like feeling like some blissful joy coming in. And it's really like not about anything specific. It's just about like the joy of being alive. And it feels so good. And so I was just like, oh, I'm grateful for this cold too. And the time that I get to just experience right now. And the things that it's helping me choose for myself. Like, because I've been wanting to make some certain dietary changes and working on that. And it's actually like, oh, everything's here already. Now I just get to choose this for myself. And so, like, really, like, feeling a little bit run down. It's just like, oh, there's not a better time than now, is there? And so, yeah, just got those things initiated and started, like, with this activation, this new activation. And so it's just like so perfect and aligned, and it's just like there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with this. Yeah, it is like for me. How is this happening for me? So I have been noticing that a lot is that we're transforming like this old victim consciousness, victim mentality, victim frequency into like this victor and this creator. And um, yeah, turning it around for ourselves. Yeah, and seeing like where we can claim that power that we do have instead of wallowing in self-pity or like, yeah, addicted to like certain uh, strategies, feelings, stories, whatnot, just letting all those things go in favor of like the flow and the whole and the experience that is being offered right now. And so I was just seeing that in a lot of people in my life, like, yeah, turning it around for themselves. And it's so cool to see. It's so awesome, really. So super grateful and just feeling like, yeah, if I can be grateful for this cold right now because it is exactly what I needed to, like, slow myself down and remember, oh, yeah, these are good things. Like, these are good things I can choose for me to support my well being and contribute and learn and grow and expand and become more of me, more of who I am. Yeah, more of my whole being and integrating that and loving that and accepting that and receiving that, yeah, sharing that, giving that to myself and like forgiving myself for a lot of different things that have come up into my awareness. And it's just been a fun practice, like not having to fix anything and knowing that everything is right to be right as it is right now. And it just gets to play itself out if we allow it. Yeah, so things can be transformed and changed. And so, where else do we want to go? It's fun. It's really so fun to play right now. And just to have fun and remember like that it is for us. And yeah, letting go of some of the old triggers and some of the old fears and some of the old desires and expectations and those things to free up the energy to receive fully what really is here, is all here right now. And so I know I wrote some things about that. So let's see where we go. So just flipped open my journal and to March 24th. Some messages come in today. Wake up and play. Be playful, spontaneous, receptive, joyful. Okay? And engaged. It's all well, okay? Be as a child. That is the higher self. The luminous child, love always. Lots of great work in liberating myself from having to be validated and accepted or understood and seen as worthy. So last night I was contemplating some things and I thought about the 3 feminine relationships that I had that were showing me certain things about me in 2020. They were a great mirror for me to see that I was not allowing myself all my ways to just be. So yeah, it helped me to see more deeply into me and what wasn't working for me, what really wasn't serving me, what really wasn't honoring of me and my energy and the other in relationship with me. Even though, yeah, we've been playing certain roles and into certain dynamics for a while, and we're comfortable with the known or the comfort zones, but they're not always the best, like, for us, for our continued expansion and growth. And then that's sometimes when we kind of stagnate or cause certain problems for ourselves, and we don't really realize like that we're choosing pain for ourselves or to perpetuate certain kinds of suffering. So it was good to see that. So some of these things that they showed me were strategies of, like the survival strategies. They're like the ego strategies. So the ego can defend itself, prop up itself, prove to itself that it's right, prove to itself that it exists. Yeah, all those things. So strategies of self-importance, self-pity, self-martyrdom, self-limiting, self-imprisoning, self-negating, self-sabotage, self-loathing, self-abuse, self-destruction, and self-victimization, self-blame. Yeah, related to low self-esteem or an inflated or a deflated sense of self-worth. These were caused by, or reinforced by certain distortions of vanity, pride, hypocrisy, jealousy, envy. And the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence stories. And now I know I can let go of expectations, fears, judgments, attachments, and old identities. My worn out clothes. Yeah, these worn out clothes that weren't even mine to begin with. Worn out clothes and puts on new ones. Well, alrighty then. So I really am excited to create and receive, offer, share, and give, dream, and be all this love that I am in full bloom, all this full bloom revelry, appreciating the experiences that I get to receive and allowing all others their own full unique journeys and their ways of being. Letting go of the outcome, agendas, fears, worries, letting go of the need to fix, repair, hurry, letting go of the need to prove myself worthy or convert anyone to my ways of operating, being, seeing, perceiving, and thinking. Yeah. And so, yes, we are on our own unique journeys, and none of us, hold the same perspectives around every single issue or every single thing. And I feel like, we've been trying to cling so hard to everything or to this false sense of control that we think, we can. We can force, or manipulate in certain ways. And it reminds me of something I read the other day about, duality from the Christ Blueprint. And makes me want to pick that book up again. But these divide and conquer strategies, it's funny, they aren't just to like confuse and distract and divide us that are on the polarized sides. It's actually to keep us from unifying, because there's this one little thing like the nitpicker doesn't like, and so we throw out to the baby with the bathwater instead of just allowing there to be a difference of opinion or a difference in perspective or a difference in experience and all that. And so I realized that it does relate to some core wounding and can bring up that feeling of defensiveness in certain ways, because we do all want to be seen as right or worthy or right to be or acceptable or included and worthy of belonging and all that. And just some of the fears of that, of being excluded or being ostracized or being alienated or isolated or exiled and thrown out, outcast, those kinds of things, speaking for myself, because I've been working with that, that black sheep and that scapegoat and that outsider archetype. And yeah, seeing more into that. But it's not just like black and white, and it's kind of interesting that way. What really wants to be said here about all of this? Because it's like a string of thoughts, like I'm pulling together. It's like this thread that I'm following, and then it's just, yeah, it branches out. So yeah, really, I feel like the thoughts I've been having lately too is just like the things that we have in common with certain groups of people or certain groups we've identified with, like in the past or maybe now. Um, we still all don't agree, even though we agree on some core things. And yeah, we're all seeing things differently. We're all experiencing our own unique reality. And so it is kind of funny that we get hung up on certain semantics or on certain rigidities. Like, yeah, we can get rigid in our in our scripts, in our dogma that we've used to make sense of things or to bring meaning to certain things. And we don't like it when somebody differs from that, because sometimes it feels like we're being threatened, or our beliefs are being threatened, or our identity is being threatened. And we confuse that with our self being threatened in certain ways, because, like, it does in a certain way play into some of the old control energies, like the domination and control energies and the power struggles and the power dynamics. Yeah, and I feel like, yeah, of course it's going to come up around this time to help us see where we have given our power away to something outside of ourselves, and also where we can really, really get stuck in certain identities without realizing it, and defend that at all costs, even at the cost of losing our own life. And that's just sad sometimes, you know. But what I've been feeling is, yeah, some of the people in my life that hold some of the same viewpoints as I do, like they're not exactly the same, but they're similar. Yeah, there's like some new divide and conquer strategies like being used to kind of stir things up and to prevent us from unifying and everything. And so I just think it's a little amusing, like in certain ways, to see and to observe and to watch and to witness certain mental streams and stories and certain projections. So just wanted to bring that out for awareness, like to become more aware of that, and where we can get so hooked on that fish line of who's right and who's wrong. And yeah, just to prove to ourselves to prove to ourselves that we exist, to prove to ourselves that we are worthy, to prove to ourselves that we're legit and all of that. Like, when really it's just like, can you make the room and make the space for another point of view, even if it doesn't like fit in with your own? Like, can you just allow it and look at it, and instead of having to react to it, and consider some certain things, and don't have to accept certain things either? Like, just suspend beliefs like the hanged man and just listen from the heart, or just listen without having to argue or defend. And so I get to practice, that a little bit more, I feel like. And I encourage anyone else who's listening, like, to try that and to practice and to play with that. And yeah, just listening to another story. We watch all kinds of different shows and different movies, and we read different books, we read different stories, especially like different novels that have different plots and different characters and different things, but we can find like common ground in them too. We can relate to some of them, and some of them just seem so bizarre and foreign to us that it intrigues us. But I feel like, yeah, if there is like these same stories that conflicted with our beliefs, we have a little bit of a harder time, like observing, watching, witnessing, yeah, taking in like certain messages. And so I feel like, what if we could just see, our own beliefs and our own opinions and our own experience as different stories? Could we make room for there to be like another story, another 100 stories, another 1,000 stories? Like, yeah, why is there only room for like one story? And yeah, no deviation or no like improvisation. Yeah, why do we get so hung up and stuck on in these scripts? And it's just like, it's because of a wound that activates a certain program and that keeps us in a perpetual loop and frozen, unable to move through it. Yeah, so we have to keep repeating it again and again. So I just think it's kind of interesting to look at. And so, yeah, that's just kind of like some of the things like that have been on my mind the last couple days, and just kind of last couple months. And so, April 1st, contemplating old hurts and wounds related to my own and others' ignorance, self-doubt, disallowance, refusal, neglect, apathy, pride, vanity, shame, guilt, fear, and our coping mechanisms, our fear, lack, victim mentality based survival strategies, giving our power, authority, energy, attention away, or repressing, denying, unacknowledged pain. Yeah, unacknowledged pain, unacknowledged power, unacknowledged energy. Yeah, through that feeling function. Yeah, the bargain without knowing. Forgetting who we are and our own value, our worth, and our fertility, our power to change and be free. So it felt so devastating to me not to be seen in the ways that I wanted to be seen, as worthy, or right to be, acceptable, yeah, good enough. Not be seen, believed, or taken seriously. And I realized, that's one thing. Yeah. And I realized too, like, maybe that's part of the reason why I always like preferred black in certain ways. Like, yeah, that's a habit that I learned when I was a teenager. And it was before like the whole goth thing. So it's like pretty much like, you can look but don't stare. And it was also like, damn it, take me seriously. I've always taken myself way too seriously in certain ways because it's felt so serious. So serious here, so deadly serious. So yeah, it's just interesting, like all these things. So it felt devastating, especially when I did my best to be honest, transparent, and accountable to me and authentic. They didn't like it. No siree. It made them uncomfortable, angry, offended, and defensive. They all turned away from me. That's what it felt like. They all turned away their love from me. Well, that was where I was withholding like love for myself in certain ways, and that reflection showed me where I could be more allowing of me and allow myself. Because why wasn't there room for me in certain relationships? Why wasn't there room like for me to have my own story? Why would I always change my story to make someone else feel more comfortable or so they could feel happy? And yeah, it was like that codependent narcissist strategy. And I was watching a couple days ago Impact the World with Lee Harris. He was interviewing Anita, Moorjani. She was the one who wrote Dying to Be Me, and she just came out with another book called Sensitive is the New Strong. And he was interviewing her. They were having a discussion together, and the things that she shared about her own experience being an empath. Oh, it resonated so much. And I'm going to post that link in the description box. And yeah, it was just really good, amazing conversation that I was happy, to listen to and receive. And it did, it really wasn't like presenting anything that I wasn't already aware of. It just helped explain it in certain different ways that helped me open up to new ways of seeing it. Yeah. And so I super appreciated that. And kind of what she was saying that I so relate to is that, talking about empaths, how we can and we do like feel others' pain and others' feelings as our own, and sometimes we can't differentiate because we feel like the feelings so strongly that we don't know like where our boundaries are and where that person begins and we end, or where that person ends and we begin. And that was like something I was working on for a long time. I was like, I didn't even know like where where the boundaries were either. And I've had such like a desire to merge with others, like so that I can feel safe as well, and sharing that reality with them to help me feel safe in certain ways, or to help my ego feel safe in a lot of different ways. And so what she was saying was that empaths like want the people around them to be happy and to be well and to be comfortable and to be okay so that they can be okay. Because like if the people around them are happy, then we can feel happy too, because that's what they're feeling. We're picking up on what they're feeling. So it's really just absorbing a lot of stuff that comes into our energy field and whatnot, or that we pick up on, or maybe even that people are sending to us without even realizing it, or maybe they're somewhat aware of it as well. And so it's just really interesting to like listen to that and just get that. So that's what reading this like reminded me of. And so it felt like they all turned away from me. And so it was like, oh, what's wrong? Let me fix it. Let me fix this, so we can feel good again. And that was always like one of my strategies, like, oh, got to take care of, this, got to make sure I don't do that because they don't like that. I'm just really like aware of certain things, like, or when certain things change, but like not always wanting to play into that either, and feeling kind of resentful when I could feel like emotional blackmail or pressure or something that they wanted me to be a certain way. And then that's when the rebel would kick in sometimes too. So it was always this war between like the rebel and the people pleaser, or the good girl and the wild girl, so it was like always wanting to assert my own independence and my own prerogative, my own agendas or whatnot, but also being aware sometimes consciously or unconsciously of the other's agenda and the other's needs and desires and strategies. And it's such a weird game to play. But I know what it's about now. And because like they were my security, who else would care for me if they were not pleased, happy, or okay with me and their reality and their feelings and their ego needs? Like, who would take care of me? And so it was kind of like a selfish thing in a certain way. Like, I want to take care of them so I can be taken care of too, And so just like realizing some of those things and letting go of those things, even though it's like freaking like not always pleasing and comfortable. It's just like yeah, I don't need that instant gratification anymore. And I can walk away from things that I know are going to cause me pain. Yeah. I don't have to wait for it to blow up in my face anymore. But sometimes it's like in certain areas or just things I've noticed, sometimes I do need to be pushed to that edge or be so worn down that I just let go of it. But yeah, I don't always need to be burned, like to know that something's hot, you know? Like I can, from my own experience, with wisdom gains through experience, um, use some refined skills of discernment. So, yes. Yes, life, yes. Thank you, life, yes. I allow life to change. The form may change, but the essence remains. I forgive myself. Yes, life. Thank you, life. Yes. Love and unity. I am one with Creator and creation. I am a part of all things. I love myself. I am love, and I am loved always. I am worthy. I am free. I am whole. Love always. I revere. I do not fear the illusion and the unknown. I arise. I do not rely on external authority, validation, safety, or certainty, and false consensus, pop culture reality. I surrender. I remember love is free always, so I'll get out of my own way and remember I am love and loved always. Love is free always to choose its own way. I am free to come back home to my heart. Love always. I step out of judgment, lack, fear, this victim mentality, and I choose love, gratitude, joy, union, appreciation, kindness, peace, and cheer, playfulness, innocence, creative fertility, and all the gifts right here. I let go to allow love to regenerate, flow, grow, and change. I choose to let go and surrender and trust love is always. I allow life to change. The form may change, but the essence remains. Thank you, life. Yes, life. Yeah. Good reminders for me that I choose to receive. I choose to offer and freely embody, and choose to be. So yeah, it's been a lot about judgments lately, letting go of judgments and attachments and fears. Yeah, all those attachments that keep me separate from me. And so I am willing to change my mind. I am willing to remember. I am willing to die to the old and surrender. I am willing to be reborn to the new, true, full, whole self and soul. Being one, being love, being whole, connected to all through one whole. I let go and I allow life to change and be all she is. So I've been witnessing and playing with allowing, acknowledging, surrendering, unifying. Wholeness is accepting and loving our shadow and our light. Yeah, acknowledging that and integrating that and harmonizing that. So the things that have been coming up for me to see and I've been looking into more deeply, just witnessing and watching the spiritual ego, the superego, the idealist, the perfectionist, the judge, victim, savior, the codependent narcissist, and transmuting unconscious passive-aggressive dynamics. The epicure, the child that doesn't want to grow up and doesn't want to take responsibility because there's certain burdens or obligations that we feel come along with this adulting. But really, yeah, when we do reach a certain maturity, we see that we're not obligated. Yeah. We're not obligated to respond in certain ways. Yeah. Maybe there will be something else about that. But yeah, the epicure, the child who doesn't want to grow up. and face certain realities, face certain things, confront certain things, confront and own certain feelings. And certain things that have been chosen. Like, really wants to keep blaming the self or others and making everything wrong, you know. But that's like that circle jerk song, where it just keeps perpetuating suffering. And really, just, we don't need to do that anymore. So, those are some of the things I've been seeing about the epicure. And then next, the outsider, the tyrant and the judge, the smother mother, and the shadow caregiver, the know-it-all. The know-it-all's been coming up a lot. Yeah, where we think we know. we don't. There's certain things that our heart and our soul knows. And yeah, that is actually the truth. But yeah, the things that we think we know, we really don't know. It's funny. Gotta let it go. The sage, the orphan, the exile, the heretic, the scorned one, the outcast, the black sheep, the whore, the creep, the freak, the weirdo, the scapegoat, the wacko, the witch, the asshole, the saint, and the hero, the golden child, the fool, and the world. Judgment, justice is blind. So transmuting these unconscious passive-aggressive dynamics, this victim mentality, poverty consciousness, or victim frequency, the cutoff separate self, yeah, relating to self-importance, ego flattery, vulnerabilities, addictions, external validation, the hamster wheel of suffering. Yeah, looking at the shadow and all these things. Great opportunities to practice and apply, allow, cultivate, and refine what I've learned and I know in my heart to be true. Love always. April 8th, Friday. Man, I'm feeling drained, hungover, tired, foggy, a bit run down from yesterday's highs. Weird shit today. Yeah. Energetic hungover. Yeah. My forearm muscle is really sore and I have a headache and a cough and my chest feels kind of heavy and I'm feeling like I want to go back to bed. I've had so many strange dreams. And that's all I wrote for Friday. April 9th, Saturday. Well, yay, I slept a lot and feeling much better, but I feel I need some TLC and some rest and some purification, some nourishment, some care and love for all of me, all aspects, all that I am. Yeah, the different energies that I've been feeling into, like, definitely have to do with electricity, power surges, an arc, and rainbow arcs, the heart bridge, the waters of life, the koi fish, Medusa, dragon, phoenix, the ocean, the micro and the macrocosm, the tree of life, the 4 seasons, the 13 weeks, the last supper, lunar cycles, growth cycles, death, and rebirth. I was listening to some podcasts today while puttering around doing housework and labors of love and acts of care, freshening, cleansing, attending, resetting, creating, and soul making, caring for myself and my family, my home, my surroundings, my energy, my space. Or is that all really an illusion, Teehee? Is there anything that is truly, exclusively mine? Well, my psychic space, my inner being, my love, my heart, my will, my choice, and my drive, my power, my energy, my life, my well-being, my sacred space, my inner peace, my inner space, my internal grace, strength, and faith, my devotion, and my true soul's expression, the meaning that I give to things, all the good things. Thank you, life, for all of this true beauty I know and remember myself to be. And as I was listening to a few gems and nuggets of wisdom, love, and resonance, I felt some of my old defenses melt away and dissolve, if only momentarily. And I felt my heart soften and open toward my loved ones. Yeah, that I've had, kind of some struggles and have showed me certain inner conflicts that I have to, just work with and play with. It's just to integrate these aspects within myself and to harmonize with them, harmonize all of them, and make the room and make the space for all of them to have their part in the whole, because every part has a place. And so make the space. So I felt my heart open and soften, and I had a realization and like this little download, and it was just like, whoa. And I could see it in a way that I hadn't seen it before. And it was just like another level and another layer, another veil like dropping. And so, yeah, thank you so much for being such a beautiful and imperfectly perfect reflection for me to see where I was unable to accept certain parts of me and we, and where I've been stuck in judgment or victim mentality frequency, where I haven't felt included or acknowledged or seen as right to be, where I can surrender and let go of expectations, fixated hopes, judgments, and old grudges, resentments, hostilities, fears, and old eyesore blind spots, or hyperfixations, exaggerated stories, myths, and old programming, cultural lies and inherited beliefs, old survival strategies. And I can trust that love will always find a way to unify all things, always. And so the other day, I had this like little trigger come up for me to see into, and it wasn't a big deal or anything, but I was just like, yay. So I get to, I know that there's going to be some opportunities that are going to come up for me to give me a chance to practice and play with like all these things of letting go of certain defenses and certain certainties, and allow and make that space in that room in everything. And so I saw something come through, and it was just like, it made me groan, and it just eye roll. I was just like, well, sigh. What did I expect to see? What did I expect? It just made me cringe and do a big eye roll. Yeah, I know you have a good heart, and it's just so sad to see you being misled and manipulated and used as a weapon, and it's just like seeing certain expectations, like knowing that they're there and not expecting them, not expecting my expectations to go away, and just allowing them to be there. It's just like, oh, okay. It's as easy as that, like dropping it, like dropping an old robe. Dropping those, things, like not getting hooked or attached to them, just observing and watching and witnessing. And so it was just, it's sad, like, to see people playing into, like, false stories and tyrannical slavery, savior, villain programming stories. And that's the rub. I'm bringing it back home to me and asking myself, how is this happening for me and we? And I know it's okay for me to have and be aware of my preferences and expectations, judgments, and condemnations. And also my ego's insistence that I need to have it my way. Because I want everyone to be happy and feeling good and at peace. And, I want to see everyone doing well and all of that. And that's like, I feel like a lot of us have those wishes, and that's why we want to fix it, because everything seems so fucked, And so we have our own agendas and how we think, we need to go about that and fixing things and making things better and making things right and making things more comfortable and acceptable for ourselves and everyone too, because, we do care. We love each other that much, but like we all have different ideas, different philosophies, different beliefs about how to go about that. And so, it is kind of funny, like the tyrannical slavery, savior, villain programming. And we don't realize, how we're being our own worst tyrants. And then, like, the tyrants that we see, on the outer stage, like, that reflect that inner tyrant back to us. Like, we don't like that shit. So, this is funny. It's like constant reaction. So, bringing it home back to me. So I know it's okay for me to be aware. Yeah, and I'm just so tired of that one-way street, that right and wrong polarized story, that there is only one right way to be, learn, grow, change, and experience being. Yeah, being a part of the whole, being a part of the greater whole as a whole being. And so, yeah, that's how I'll choose to see it. Not exclude any of these parts, but rather bring them into harmony within myself. And let go of that separation, that it's separate from me, or it's cut off from me. So that polarization, judgment, projection, disconnection, that separation, cut off self, cut out self, those self-imposed limitations, the rejection, the denial, the betrayal of the self and our own wholeness, the bargain without knowing. So I've been thinking about the hands again, the hands and the heart, and that tale of the handless maiden story in Women Who Run with the Wolves. And it's been a couple months since I've revisited that story, and it's time to dig it back up. And so that's what I get to choose to look into for me. So thinking about the hands and the heart and the whole soul being one, being whole, the handless maiden and the predator of the psyche, and the love that we have to choose. Devotion and care, our reconnection, and our becoming whole, through reclaiming the feeling function and allowing all. Yeah, so I have been thinking about that story, and in that story, when the mother realizes that the father has made a bargain with this mysterious stranger, who also is like that aspect of the devil, and that predator of the psyche. Yeah, she realizes what he's done, and she says, "What have you done? What have you done?" And that's just like all of a sudden, like waking up and realizing, like, holy shit, because we haven't been conscious of certain things, and then all of a sudden we do, and it's very, very painful when we do become aware of that. So, yeah, this is kind of interesting. And I've also been thinking about, that story where that predator of the psyche, he demanded that the maiden's hands be cut off because, like, this aspect can't feel and is so disconnected and is so cut off from its own self that it needs to prey on other things to get its energy from, but it doesn't want the other to feel because it can't feel either. And so, like, that is another way to perpetuate the suffering, is they want everyone else to be cut off from their feeling as well. And so I just think that's like really, maybe something that's needed to look into, or just being offered, like, to take a look at. So it's also thinking about that story after the maiden is married to the king, and the king goes off to war, and the maiden is now the queen, and she's pregnant, and she's going to have a child, and there's messages that get crossed back and forth, and so she needs to leave the castle to preserve her own life and the life of her child. And she finds some caretakers that live in a forest, and with lots of care and love and attention and time, her hands actually grow back, and so she can feel her way through the world again, and all of that. And so I've been feeling like that. These certain cut off parts of me. I feel like my connection is growing, and bringing them back to life, bringing my whole self back to life, and the joy of being alive. So it all relates, certain ways to like this story. Stories hold so much. And wow, what kind of stories are we telling each other? What kind of stories do we tell ourselves? And why? So, moving on now. April 11th. Strange dreams this morning at 3 a.m. and I woke up again for the second night in a row at 3, and I'm wide awake, coughing up a storm. LOL. So I decided to get up so I didn't disturb Babe. Some of the snippets that I remember, certain weird things. And so this girl has like big reflective eyes. Almost looks like an alien, and like she's got some kind of weird tech. She's enamored with me, and she wants to get frisky and friendly. And is she reflecting back to me my own beauty, charm, and beautiful qualities? Like a narcissist or an imitator or a pretender or a fraud or a predator can or is apt to do, to reel us in and deceive us into projecting our own power and best qualities onto them, giving them our own power through this false humility programming. These are interesting thoughts anyway. I'm not even sure. So there's another sequence or section of the dream, and I'm going through things in a cupboard in my kitchen, and the kitchen cupboard is like sagging, and it's like, it looks like it's falling off the wall, or it's like, it's not secure, it's not like stable. So my question is, what's being noticed and what's being overlooked? So what is it that we're seeing, and what is it that we're maybe not seeing because we can't see the forest through the trees? So I'm arranging this cupboard with all sorts of useful things and plants and things that I value. I'm organizing in a way that makes sense to me. But then I'm asking for help from Scott, and he doesn't really see or understand my methods or my strategies or the sequence or the way that things go together in this new organized system. So he's a little frustrated or impatient with this new way of ordering and systemization. He just wants to get the job done and move on to something else, more to his liking. So he doesn't notice that when he closes the cupboard door that it's hanging ski-wampus off of its hinges, and the cupboard is like sinking sideways or coming detached from the wall. And it makes me think that this masculine energy is just wanting to get her done, get in there and get her done, because it's about like goal-oriented outcomes and instant gratification and what's seen as productive, rather than of true substance and quality, value, and the experience. So are we losing the forest for the trees? And then, this next little thing. I'm riding in a car with some younger guy, traveling somewhere, I don't know. And we're going down this scenic highway, and there is this huge machine that's as big as a mountain that has like different spinning arms on the thing that it's mining or it's influencing things. And these 3 arms that spin around kind of like a claw and grab things and throw them or fling them away. It's so forceful that it seems it could absolutely obliterate the car that we're driving in and throw us into another dimension. I see it coming toward us, and I momentarily feel some fear. But then I remember it's not under my control or my false ego control, and I choose to allow trust, surrender, and let go. And then it just passes over us because we are unseen or we're overlooked and we're passed by. It's really strange and surreal. It seems like everyone or every player has their own hidden agenda sometimes. So I get to center and ground myself, trust myself, rely on myself and in my power and responsibilities. Trust life, love creator, higher self, Mother Earth, and the world soul. So those are some interesting dreams and good messages that I get to look into for me. So I had been having like a lot of strange dreams lately, and since I woke up at 3 a.m. I had the time to write some of them down. Where the last month or so I kind of like been slacking on that a little bit, like, yeah. And so just it's like, yeah, this is a good opportunity to like look at my dreams, see into some more things that maybe I've overlooked. And so appreciating those messages, and a lot of things coming in around value and what we appreciate. Yeah, reevaluating what we value. And so I've had like lots of conversations this last week with several people about that exact thing, about what we value, what we're putting our energy into, and what we're creating, you know. And so, yeah, I've been giving myself permission to receive all the things that contribute to my well-being and that honor my life and honor my creativity and my fertility and what I want to experience and what I want to choose for me. And so it's really awesome to give myself permission, and like letting go of certain guilt and certain things that have to do with like that poverty consciousness, like certain old beliefs that said, well, I can't have this because not everybody has this, you know. And it's just like, yes, some of that poverty consciousness programming, like that's unraveling, and I'm letting go and dissolving a lot of that. And so it feels good, and it feels right, and it feels free. So yay for me and me. And so encouraging others to like receive what they need and give themselves permission to open to receive all that is meant to contribute to their greatest growth and healing. And so yeah, these energy surges are so weird and strange, and I haven't been able to sleep very much as I'm doing my best just to accept and work with it, not telling myself that it's wrong or it's this or it's that and this is what it's about, but just, oh, all right, I get to work with this again. And these things have happened to me before, and we've gone through different cyclic things, yeah, where I've experienced this before. And so it's always like super creative time to work with creative energy, instead of like blocking it, suppressing it, repressing it, or telling myself that it's wrong because it's not my preference. Like, it's not my preference to get up at 3 a.m., you know, and then be awake like all day and then all night again. Like, that's definitely not my preference. But like, hey, if this is what I get to work with, and I'll just be receptive to it, and I can like, and then it's just like, it really is amazing if I'm not in resistance to it, and it is happening for me, and I can work with it. So yeah, so I don't need to know or understand anything. I just get to allow love to shine through. This is true vision. Trust, love, compassion, empathy, faith, strength, receptivity, amazing grace, forgiveness and acceptance, loving kindness, the freedom to be, to grow, expand, express, and change authentically. Well, I feel brain fried since it's almost 6 a.m. now, and I'm going to try and go back to bed for a little while. Yeah. Kuan Yin, Hathor, Bridget, Isis, Saraswati, Iris, Mary, Joan of Arc, Vesta, Athena, Medusa, Terra, Sophia. Love lives everywhere, always. And yeah, that's all I have written in my journal so far. But I was going somewhere with that. Yes. Oh, I feel less constricted and congested, and I'm more free to be as I am, remembering to allow to be here and be present, to let go, to be free. So that's what I did today. Yeah, just you know, not feeling my best right now, and just have that just rolled out of bed look, and that's okay, you know. And it's just like, you know what, just show up and allow myself as I am. This is, this is for me and anyone else who wants to receive. It doesn't have to be, and I don't have to be any certain way to offer it and share it. So just allowing myself that, because that's where I'm at. So thank you, self, for allowing me to be all that I am and all that I shall be, all that I've been and all that I will be, all that I am and that I get to be right now and always. That's love for me. It's love, acceptance, and inclusivity. Loving myself through all these things. And that does free up a lot of energy, and that is very honoring. So I'm very grateful to receive that and offer it. And so I have this article that I found when I was going through a box of like mementos and keepsakes and old papers and stuff that I had held on to. And I thought it was super interesting. It's been sitting upstairs, and I have thought about bringing it, to share the last couple times. And I feel like, there's a couple of things in here that I just want to read and offer and kind of look into a little bit more, and sort of ask anyone too, can you see like a parallel or a way that we can apply this to like what we're seeing now? And we're all seeing different things, obviously, but I feel like a lot of us can see that there's definitely a divide and conquer strategies at play and things. And there are certain qualities that are being played out too, like that are kind of being ignored in certain ways, like where it's easy for us to see the hypocrisy that goes on the outside, but it's not as easy to see like how we can be that same hypocrite, or just in a similar way, in certain similar ways, even though it's not the exact same things. Like if it's like a remake of a movie where they change certain things, or like there's a certain formula for certain romantic comedies, like boy likes girl, girl doesn't like guy, boy tries to win girl, and all these things. Like it's like the same movie played out again and again, but just with different actors, different characters, slightly different lines, but it's the same thing, it's the same story over and over again. And it's like looped in the mind. But anyways, this is an article from the New York Times that my dad had given me years and years ago, and it is from 2002, and it's called "The One True Faith, Is It Tolerance?" And it is by Thomas Cahill. So once upon a time, there was a religion whose adherents thought it to be the only true one. Because their God wished everyone, or so they thought, to believe as they did, they felt justified in imposing their religion on others. And so, So, toward those who refused to bow to the true religion, these true believers took different tacks at different times. Sometimes they hemmed in the infidels, as they were called, with civil disabilities, limiting their license to practice their own religion, forcing them to listen to propaganda and otherwise restricting their freedom. At other times, they became more aggressive, burning holy books, smashing sacred statues, and even engaging in wholesale slaughter of infidels, men, women, and children, as if they were rats carrying plague. The religion is not Islam, but Christianity, whose dark history of crusades, inquisitions, and pogroms lies not as far in the past as one might prefer to think. The slow germination of this revolution in consciousness can be dated at least to the 18th century, toward the end of which a country finally emerged. America that officially refused to play the game of whose religion was true and took a generously agnostic view of religious truth. You may believe what you like, and so may I, and neither can impose belief on the other. Is there an essentially different dynamic at work in Islamic countries that keeps them from arriving at the civic virtue of tolerance? The forces of the Enlightenment that exalted tolerance in the West were given their impetus by the European wars of the 16th and 17th centuries, in which Christian was pitted against Christian. Wars over points of doctrine that must have looked exceedingly abstruse, even absurd to non-Christians who could only see the similarities between the warring systems. Okay, so one might well wonder if this enlightenment would have emerged with such vigor had the battles involved Christian against Jew, or more exotically against Muslim or Buddhist or Zoroastrian Protestants and Catholics had to learn to be tolerant of one another, of different forms of Christianity, before they could learn to tolerate those whose religions were non-Christian. Yeah, that's so interesting right now to come up. Yeah, so interesting that we bicker over these little things, and we're so insistent on clinging to our chosen beliefs and everything. But I just thought super interesting because of certain differences that have kept us divided, even in similar belief systems. And so it's so interesting to look at. So been looking into that because I feel like there's a lot to see in that for me, where I can reconcile some things that have felt pretty conflicting. And so there's a couple more things that I wanted to share. And one of them, I've been feeling fox energy the last week, and I just opened it to Otter in medicine cards. But fox energy. Fox is about camouflage and being the protector of the family. Fox is number 25. Wily fox has many allies in the woodlands, including the foliage, which offers protection and much medicine. Fox is seemingly able to vanish amidst the lush undergrowth of the forest. This flora is Fox's ally. The ability to meld into one's surroundings and be unnoticed is a powerful gift when one is observing the activities of others. Another natural gift of Fox is the ability to adapt to winter by changing color, like the chameleon. Its rich white winter coat allows Fox to blend into the snow when the leaves no longer linger. Fox medicine involves adaptability, cunning, observation, integration, and swiftness of thought and action. These traits may also include quick decisiveness and sure-footedness in the physical world. Fox's ability to be unseen allows it to be the protector of the family unit. If danger arises, Fox is Johnny on the spot. Nana Wea, great spirit in the Choctaw tongue, honors Fox with the duty of keeping the family together and safe. This is accomplished through Fox's ability to observe undetected without making others self-conscious. Fox is always concerned with the safety of family members and is an excellent talisman for those traveling far afield. If Fox has chosen to share its medicine with you, it is a sign that you are to become like the wind, which is unseen yet is able to weave into and through any location or situation. You would be wise to observe the acts of others rather than their words at this time. Use your cunning nature in a positive way. Keep silent about who and what and why you are observing. In learning the art of camouflage, you need to test your abilities to pull this off. One test or exercise that may be helpful to you is deciding to be invisible. In doing this exercise, you might try to visualize your body as part of your surroundings, full of the colors of the location you are in. See yourself in your mind's eye, moving with stealth and grace, unheeded by others. If you do it right, it works. You can leave a party unnoticed or become as unobtrusive as a piece of furniture, watching the developing drama of the subjects you are studying. While learning from Fox, you might also gain confidence in your ability to know instantly what will happen next. After observing for a while, you will become aware of certain predictability in given situations and be able to quickly make your move. Fox medicine teaches the art of oneness through its understanding of camouflage. This applies on all levels, from rocks to God. With Fox medicine, you are being asked to see all types of uses for oneness. Much like the clowns at the rodeo, Fox can keep the raging bull from stampeding a friend or family member. Fox can use silly tactics as a brilliant camouflage move. No one would guess the sly power behind such ingenious maneuvers. So interesting, super interesting. And contrary Fox, watch out for wily Fox as this card appeared reversed. Someone may be watching you and trying to figure out your next move. If you look deeper, however, it may be that you are watching yourself to prove to yourself that you exist. If you have become a wallflower to the point of disappearing, you may need to decide that you are worth noticing. Contrary Fox is as foolish as it is cunning, and you may have fooled yourself into believing that your low self-esteem is due to your being born plain or having an ordinary life. This is camouflage of a different sort, in that you have camouflaged your true desire to experience life with friends, with joy, and with purpose. In any case, you are put on notice to be aware of apathy and self-induced boredom. You may have to dig deeply to find what excites you enough to scurry across the wasteland of your dulled senses and live. Contrary Fox may also be telling you that you have become too visible. In climbing to a place of recognition, oftentimes the envy or jealousness of others is thrown in your face. If you are feeling attacked, withdraw. It may be time to assume the attitude of the hermit and deck yourself in the cloak of invisibility. To right contrary Fox in this situation, call on Armadillo and name your boundaries. Then call on the family's protector to show you the art of camouflage. Once out of the line of attack, you can resume the role of being your foxy self. Become Fox and feel the joy of knowing the playground of your life. You may just find the chicken coop full of intriguing morsels of delight. Sweet. Thank you, Fox. Thank you, Fox Medicine, for your lessons and your wisdom. Fox, where are you? Under the ferns, becoming the forest so I can learn? Are you watching, invisible to me, trying to teach me to become a tree? Medicine cards, Jamie Sands and David Carson. And another two animals that have been coming up for me this week is Hawk the messenger, and Snake. And so, Snake's been coming up a lot. And this morning, there was a couple things about Snake. And it was interesting. And it was too. It's like, lessons in discernment, huh? Yeah, this is interesting. So Snake, come crawling, there's fire in your eyes, bite me, excite me, I'll learn to realize. The poison transmuted brings eternal flame, open me to heaven to heal me again. Number 6, transmutation. Snake medicine people are very rare. Their initiation involves experiencing and living through multiple snake bites, which allows them to transmute all poisons, be they mental, physical, spiritual, or emotional. The power of snake medicine is the power of creation, for it embodies sexuality, psychic energy, alchemy, reproduction, and ascension or immortality. The transmutation of the life, death, rebirth cycle is exemplified by the shedding of snake skin. It is the energy of wholeness, cosmic consciousness, and the ability to experience anything willingly and without resistance. Wow. So it is the knowledge that all things are equal in creation, and that these things which might be experienced as poison can be eaten, ingested, integrated, and transmuted if one has the proper state of mind. Thoth, the Atlantean, who later returned as Hermes and was the father of alchemy, used the symbology of two snakes intertwining around a sword to represent healing. Complete understanding and acceptance of the male and female within each organism creates a melding of the two into one, thereby producing divine energy. This medicine teaches you on a personal level that you are a universal being. Through accepting all aspects of your life, accepting all aspects of your life, you can bring about the transmutation of the fire medicine. This fire energy, when functioning on the material plane, creates passion, desire, procreation, and physical vitality. On the emotional plane, it becomes ambition, creation, resolution, and dreams. On the mental plane, it becomes intellect, power, charisma, and leadership. When this snake energy reaches the spiritual plane, it becomes wisdom, understanding, wholeness, and connection to the Great Spirit. If you have chosen this symbol, there is a need within you to transmute some thought, action, or desire so that wholeness may be achieved. This is heavy magic, but remember, magic is no more than a change in consciousness. Become the magician or the enchantress. Transmute the energy and accept the power of the fire. Wow. That's perfect. Perfect. Snake medicine. Yes, thank you, snake. If you have drawn this symbol in the reverse, you may have chosen to mask your ability to change. Look at the idea that you may fear changing your present state of affairs because this may entail a short passage into discomfort. Does this discomfort keep you from assuming the viewpoint of the magician within? Is the old pattern safe, reliable, and a rut? In order to glide beyond that place which has become safe but non-productive, become snake. Release the outer skin of your present identity. Move through the dreamlike illusion that has insisted on static continuity and find a new rhythm as your body glides across the sands of consciousness, like a river winding its way toward the great waters of the sea. Immerse yourself in that water and know that the single droplet which you represent is being accepted by the whole. Feel Snake's rhythm, and you will dance freely, incorporating those transmuting forces of the universe as part of your sensual dance of power. Wow, how amazing. Super amazing. Such good messages. And I can see so many things about that relate, especially, the stuff that's been coming up for me the last couple days. And then my last video that I had done like 5 or 6 days ago, and I had shared a stack of my soul story cards, my soul collage cards that are here on my desk. And there was a lot of snake energy in that as well. And so it's just super funny. And like the ocean and the drop in the ocean. Yeah, all those themes. The Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail. And I've been thinking about this one a lot today. It was the one with the turtle and the 2 snakes. Where did that one go? Let's see. Here it is, yeah. This one's so perfect for today. There's a feather there. And you see how the drops of water are naturally repelled. Yeah, that's interesting. And so, yeah, maybe in a way, that is That's funny. I had something I was going to say, and then I doubted it, and then I lost it. How funny. Well, we'll see if it comes back. But yeah, it's so funny. It's so awesome. Yeah, we'll see if anything comes back around. If we circle back to that. But anyway, before I say goodbye, there was a couple things that I appreciated about this month, April, and it has been like a really super bright month, full of illumination and revelations, and it's just getting started. The 12th today, and it's these awesome transformative energies. And we have our full moon coming up this Saturday in Libra. So that is, awesome for like that balance and that harmony and that inner union. And then we have belting coming up in a couple weeks, and that is about the god and the goddess in union. And so, all these things. So April is the month of Aphrodite, a Greek goddess of love and beauty. The name is rooted in the Latin aprius, which is derived from the Latin apiere, meaning to open. April is the month of the growing season, and when trees and flowers begin to open. It represents a time of full emergence and growth. Welcome to the new beginnings and that spring brings in nature and in our own life. Does the sun ask itself, am I good? Am I worthwhile? Is there enough of me? No, it burns and it shines. Does the sun ask itself, what does the moon think of me? How does Mars feel about me today? No, it burns, it shines. Does the sun ask itself, am I as big as other suns in other galaxies? No, it burns and it shines. Your soul doesn't care what you do for a living, and when your life is over, neither will you. Your soul cares only about what you are being while you are doing whatever it is you are doing. And that's Neil Donald Walsh. Be who you are and love her. Be who you are and love you. That's good advice and true words. Yes, indeed. So, with that said, and shared, and freed, and expressed, and received, I will wish you all well, and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your week, and take good care of you, and choose all the things you need for your well-being. Love yourself, forgive yourself, accept yourself, free yourself, make peace with yourself, be all that love that you need for your whole self. I love you all. See you for now.